Have you ever wondered how to make the perfect Pancit Bihon Guisado? This delightful dish, beloved across the Philippines, is a festival of flavors waiting to be explored. Pancit Bihon Guisado, a stir-fried noodle dish, is a culinary symbol of Filipino hospitality and celebration. Its origins can be traced back to Chinese traders who introduced noodles to the archipelago, and over time, it has become a dish that is uniquely Filipino. The combination of thin rice noodles, a medley of meats and vibrant veggies all tossed in a savory sauce creates a dish that is as colorful as it is flavorful. And the beauty of Pancit Bihon Guisado is in its versatility. Whether you're cooking for a simple family dinner or preparing for a grand feast, this dish is a sure crowd pleaser. So if you're ready to embark on a culinary adventure, stick around. Today, you'll learn how to make this delightful noodle dish from scratch. Scene script. First, let's gather all the ingredients you'll need. To start, we need half a pound of bihon, also known as rice noodles. These are the star of our dish, providing a delightful, chewy texture and a wonderful vehicle for the flavors of our sauce. Next up, we need 2 tablespoons of cooking oil, 4 cloves of garlic and 1 small onion. These ingredients form the aromatic base of our dish, infusing our noodles with rich, savory flavors. For the protein, we'll be using half a pound each of chicken breast and shrimp. The chicken adds a hearty, satisfying element to the dish, while the shrimp brings a touch of the sea, creating a lovely balance of flavors. Now let's talk vegetables. We have 1 small carrot and 1 small cabbage, both sliced thinly. These add a beautiful color contrast to the dish, not to mention a delightful crunch and extra nutrients. To bring everything together, we'll need 2 cups of chicken broth, 3 tablespoons of soy sauce, and 1 tablespoon of oyster sauce. These will form the flavorful sauce that will coat our noodles, meat, and veggies. As for seasoning, we'll use salt and pepper to taste. These will enhance all the other flavors in the dish. Finally, for garnish and a bit of tang, we have optional calamansi or lemon wedges and some chopped green onions. The citrus cuts through the richness of the dish, while the green onions add a touch of freshness. Now that we have everything, we can start cooking. The first step is to prepare your bihon noodles. Now, this part is crucial to ensure the right texture for your Pancit Bihon Guisado. You'll want to take your bihon noodles and submerge them in a bowl of warm water. This isn't a quick dip, mind you. We're talking soaking here for about 10 to 15 minutes. Patience is key, my dear friends. As time passes, you'll notice your noodles softening, becoming pliable and ready for the next stage of our culinary journey. The soaking process allows the noodles to absorb the water, making them easier to cook later on. It also helps to prevent the noodles from sticking together when you add them to the wok. When the noodles have softened to your satisfaction, it's time to drain them. Just pour the noodles into a colander and let the excess water run off. Once your noodles are soft, drain them and set them aside. Now comes the exciting part, cooking the Pancit Bihon Guisado. To kick things off, we'll need to heat 2 tablespoons of cooking oil in a large wok or pan set over medium-high heat. Once the oil is hot, it's time to introduce the garlic and onion. These 2 ingredients are the aromatic backbone of our dish, and sautéing them until fragrant releases their flavors into the oil, setting the stage for the rest of the ingredients. Next, we'll add the thinly sliced chicken breast. We're looking for the chicken to turn opaque, signaling it's cooked through. This should take about 3 to 4 minutes. It's important to stir the chicken pieces around the pan to ensure they cook evenly and soak up the flavors of the garlic and onion. With the chicken cooked, it's time to welcome the shrimp to the party. These little gems only need about 2 to 3 minutes to cook until they turn pink. Be careful not to overcook them, as they can become tough and lose their delicate flavor. Now let's add some color and crunch to our dish with the julienned carrots and thinly sliced cabbage. We'll stir these in and cook for another 2 to 3 minutes until the vegetables are slightly tender but still retain a bit of bite. This will give our Pancit Bihon Guisado a delightful contrast of textures. With our main ingredients happily mingling in the pan, we'll push everything to one side to make room for the chicken broth, soy sauce, and oyster sauce. Season this with a bit of salt and pepper to taste. It's this blend of sauces that gives our dish its rich, savory flavor that's characteristic of Pancit Bihon Guisado. Once the broth begins to simmer, it's time to mix everything together, including our softened bihon noodles. A good toss ensures that the noodles are evenly coated with the sauce, and that the flavors are well distributed throughout the dish. The final cooking stage takes about 3 to 5 minutes, during which the noodles absorb the flavors and become fully cooked. If the noodles appear a bit dry at this point, don't panic. Just add more chicken broth as needed. This is a flexible dish that can easily be adjusted to your preference. And with that, our cooking process is complete. Once everything is cooked, it's time to add the broth and sauces. Now, we're ready to move on to the final steps. But that's a story for the next scene. Until then, let's savor the aroma of our freshly cooked Pancit Bihon Guisado. Now, let's bring everything together. We start by introducing the softened bihon noodles to the wok. Nestle them gently within the simmering broth, taking care not to break them. The noodles are delicate creatures after all. They need to be coddled, adored, and most importantly, well seasoned. As the noodles start to absorb the broth, they will slowly transform, turning from a light ivory to a rich golden hue. It's a mesmerizing sight, watching the noodles drink in the flavors of the broth, the soy sauce, the oyster sauce. It's like watching a painter at work, each stroke adding more depth, more color, more flavor. Now it's time for a little elbow grease. With a pair of tongs or a spatula, start tossing the noodles, mixing them with the chicken, shrimp, and vegetables. This is where the magic happens. The flavors melding together, the textures playing off each other. It's a symphony of tastes and textures, a culinary ballet that's as beautiful to watch as it is to taste. But like any good conductor, you need to be in control. Taste the dish. Does it need more salt, more pepper, more soy sauce or oyster sauce? This is your dish after all. You're the artist. You have the power to adjust the flavors as needed. Cook the noodles for another 3 to 5 minutes, or until they're fully cooked and have absorbed all the flavors. If they appear dry, don't hesitate to add more chicken broth. There's no shame in it. The noodles should be moist, succulent, bursting with flavor with every bite. And there you have it. Once the noodles are fully cooked and have absorbed all the flavors, your Pancit Bihon Guisado is ready to serve. It's a dish that's as beautiful to look at as it is delicious to eat, a testament to the power of simple ingredients and a little bit of love. Once the noodles are fully cooked and have absorbed all the flavors, your Pancit Bihon Guisado is ready to serve. The best part about cooking is finally here, serving your dish. Pancit Bihon Guisado is traditionally served hot, straight from the wok or pan. This ensures that all the flavors are at their peak, providing a truly delightful eating experience. Now, on to the garnishes. While they are optional, they truly elevate this dish. The chopped green onions add a fresh, crisp bite that perfectly balances out the savory flavors of the noodles. And don't forget about the calamansi or lemon wedges. A squeeze of this citrus over the Pancit Bihon Guisado brings out the flavors and adds a bright, tangy note to the dish, so go ahead. Ladle generous servings onto plates, garnish as you please, and watch as everyone digs in, savouring the fruits of your culinary labour. And there you have it, your very own homemade Pancit Bihon Guisado. Enjoy!